Alone again. That's where I am. I'm alone again. Well, I'm not alone because I've heard that a lot of you like listening to the podcast of the Danger Club, which, baffling, frankly. But if you do want to support us and give us gold or whatever, then do go over to our Patreon. Patreon. Yes, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. So there we go. Patreon. Gene, put that down.
Previously on the Danger Club podcast.
Fulton is effectively now fighting the entire Danger Club and winning.
No one takes it from me.
If you won't listen to me, maybe you'll listen to MZ. And I quick draw MZ.
Oh my god!
What are you doing?
I need the power to bring you back.
Hold on to the ones you love.
I just see that you've been doing alright holding them shards.
Yeah, I've been doing fine.
Guess you won't mind if someone else held them for a while.
It's been quite the walk in the country, hasn't it, lad?
Yeah.
The adventure continues now.
My back is killing me this week. I've taken on a relatively new job recently, working in an actual theatre, which I've never done before. And I can tell you, theatres are designed by fucking hobbits.
Yeah, man.
The ceilings there are not built for giant Gandalf people, and the job involves running around really fast all the time. So basically I'm just racing through things that can give me a concussion all time. I'm like the little Rainbow Six guys, like doing little stooped runs everywhere, trying to keep up with our buddy Anna, who's the stage manager, who moves like a fucking rocket. And I'm just like, it's like trying to keep up with you, James, in this house. And she's just gone. I'm just like, no. She knows every nook and cranny.
She does. She's also much younger than us. And this little slight little frame. Yeah, don't try and keep up with that.
Scary fast. Scary fast, like the scarily fast Fulton Battlestone, who had 3 episodes of Fighting the Danger Club and very nearly won. Hello, everyone, and welcome to very nearly the Fulton Battlestone solo podcast, but now the Danger Club podcast.
Yeah.
To be fair, we were rolling really bad.
Well, and also you were doing non-lethally stuff.
I was genuinely towards the end of the fight. I was like, I think I've run out of punches to pull. I'm gonna have to start just actually punching.
Yeah.
But at that point, I was like, if I start doing like combat damage, I think the numbers are still against me at this point. I don't think, especially when I did 3 attacks and couldn't breach her armor once. I was like, don't think this is gonna go Caragor's way. This is a straight up fight.
But we're all friends now.
All friends.
We're friends now.
Yes. Yeah, it's mad. When I started that conversation, I didn't truly know it was going to go that way.
Yeah.
And Caragor started the conversation. I didn't think he knew it was necessarily going to go that way. It was just going to be a frank talking to.
There was a point in it where I was like, shall I role play as me or shall I roll it like to get persuaded? Do you know what I mean? Like I was like, I didn't know how to play it because your argument was good.
Can I say I was delighted as a player because at one point you were like, oh, but they're my friends, and I thought there was this like 50-50. I was like, oh, don't cop out. Don't just be like, you're my friend, and you were like, oh, you're gonna play me to the death. I was like, yeah, good. that's by far more fun because well, he could be persuaded, but I think it would have downgraded his character arc because he got well into that shard. Like, whoa, boy. Oh, you missed Scott that he was actually rubbing them on himself whilst naked in his room. He was well into those shards, man.
You may not be so keen to hang on to those shards if you'd known what Fulton had been doing with them.
And like you guys look into the shard because now Caragor's got fucking 2. You guys just look into the shards and make up your own visions.
Make up your own shit.
But it's purely your choice.
Yeah, it's kind of, but it's got a sort of rings of power kind of aspect to it.
Yeah, I know.
It will show you what you want to see.
Definitely the vibe, but if you just never look into the shards, you're never going to be...
Yeah. But there's always that.
But they constantly call to you.
They do have
like
a compulsion to them,
it's like once you have one, the rest of them call to you. You have an obsession to try and get more.
Scott's going to constantly be looking.
And that
you
is written
saw
into the
that
law.
guy back in the library. You saw what had happened to... That's basically the only person you've met, other than Freya. The only person you've met was a Librian who has ever held a shard, and he ended up in a demon light. He basically sold his soul for to try and get another one. So they do have a thing. We should say for the Dangerlings, anyone who's wondering, there is no mechanic behind the shards. There is no rule that we're running. There's no will saves or anything that we're doing behind this. It is purely player driven. That you guys have the briefing of how they affect you and how they make you feel, and I've very much left it to all of you guys. That's why I always want you to describe what you see when you look in the shards, because only you really know what your character wants or what they're. Remember, it's not what your character wants logically. It's what is deep inside them. What is there? What is what is the little crack? What is the thing that you secretly want more than something else? All of these little bits, and I think it's a really interesting thing to explore. To explore both kind of the merits and flaws of characters, because they are unpredictable things.
There was a moment where Bubba was just going to cast invisibility on himself when he was holding 3. I was just going to walk off for 10 minutes.
Just for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Because that's how long it lasts.
Forever.
You know what I mean? Like, he would have just going to run off and see what happens.
Nice walk with the shots. Yeah, it's different, isn't it? Like, I suppose with the manipulability of how we're running it with the shards, because Fulton, being a simple fella, is easily persuaded, but then probably easily down-swayed, if you'd like what I mean.
Right.
Like, the stuff that would manipulate and persuade Fulton isn't necessarily the stuff that would manipulate and persuade everyone else. However, Bubba having them on his person is a little bit more being a bard, being a musician, like there's already more complex layers. There's also a level of intelligence that he adds to keeping them and maintaining control over them that Fulton wouldn't necessarily do. So it's interesting how, different reflections can come out that way through the shards.
Yeah, and different manipulations, like you say, because obviously, let's say Caragor, you might get more of a compulsion that if you had the shards, you'd use them for good and no one else would. So you need to trust me with the shard, because it would be showing you that if anyone else got the shard, a bad thing would happen, but if you carry all the shards, that's going to be good. And therefore you'd then turn it would be the same thing but reversed, because you'd be like, no, I can't give them to you because you're going to turn into a demon necromancer. It's just like, dude,
don't get me wrong, when Bubba handed me that other shard, there was a temptation for me to turn around and be like, yeah, thanks mate, and no, just run off into the woods, cover up all my tracks, like
But it's very kind of, I like the different I like that Fulton's interpretation of corruption is very Fulton. It's what Fulton believes, that, because there's a part of Fulton that kind of knows that what he's doing is wrong, and that in his mind, I guess, is kind of what Fulton thinks of as a bad guy. Whereas Bubba, it's more creative, and it's almost more sinister. Like I've always said, bards have never been my favorite class to play in any game, but I think they make such good villains. I think once a bard starts to go, that creativity can be so twisted. Like the stuff that you can do with it. Give me an evil wizard over an evil bard any day if you want to face something, because they can be nasty.
It's kind of like the difference of it being taken away from Gollum, isn't it? And Bilbo handing it over at the end of, at the beginning of the Fellowship.
Yeah.
Like he's had it for a few years, but he can just about give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt like Bubba was doing it. He was kind of like, it was.
He knows he'll get it.
It was really difficult for him, but actually, he can give it up. You know what I mean? He can step away from it for a while. He's still got an intention to try and get them, but
that's the thing. That's the fear. That's the rot that sets in. That's the what you saw with Librian back in the demon library was, as soon as you became aware that you had a shard, it was right back there where it was. It's even having been separated for centuries from the shard, that the damage was still there.
It's like a non-smoker, innit? Always wanting to have a cigarette.
You always, So you need like a vape shard.
It's not as good though, is it? It's not as good.
It's not as good.
Never as good.
And then Bubba can be the first ever person to vape shard.
Yeah, man.
Call that.
But you managed to. You've managed to just about resolve this, although several of you are horribly injured.
We can do this. It's fine.
And you've used up most of your spells. Well, quite a lot of your
Yeah.
spells.
Well.
Vilda held back a few.
I held back more than a few, yeah, because actually when you said about, like, we're going to face the undead thing, I very much in my mind as well, I'm just like, should I cast fly? Should I cast this? No. But of course, a lot of mine's damage dealing.
Yeah.
At the moment, that's why I geared up today for. I was literally like, let's go and kill something. Oh, Fulton. It's like, cool. Would anyone have done anything differently? How many hit points did you get down to? Now we're all friends.
Yeah, that was it. We were talking about that. So I'm
Yeah.
at 41 hit points from 100.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's not insignificant. I had a couple more rounds left in me. If it had hit me every round, and bear in mind, between all the malices we were putting on him and me putting distance, we were reducing the amount of attacks he could do. So if he had 2 or 3 attacks, that might have gone very quickly. But being as we put him at like 1 or 2 attacks max each round, then yeah, I could have gone for a couple more rounds. But
like
getting
one
hairy.
crit from Fulton is like what is the damage with? I mean, you didn't have MZ, I suppose, did you? So you're down to the
It's 2d12 for MZ axe, and it's 2d10, I think,
2d10.
for the Great Club.
so with
rolled-
the power attack 3d10, and then what's your attack bonus?
+7.
+7. So potential 37 points of damage on a regular hit. 74 points of damage on a crit. That's max, but that's what Fulton can do with a single hit. That's
you should have seen the look on Caragor's face, because you actually rolled higher damage with the club that does technically less damage than the
Yeah.
axe. The look on Caragor's face as he took MZ out of your hands triumphantly, and then you smacked him in the head with the club even harder than you did before, was just confusion, pain.
and I like because the club is the scepter of the Frog King that you murdered the last time you turned a
Yeah.
bit evil. So it's a real kind of like there's a whole arc to this. But you made it through. You've made it through. Maybe not all your trust has made it through.
Does Shania have she has got a shard.
I
Yes.
don't think.
So we've
I
got-
don't know if she does because you've got 4 shards.
Yeah, she does.
You've
she's got one. Yeah.
Because the
1,
Fulton
2.
was going to look at stealing one from her or something,
Yeah.
and that was another sort of drum. Oh yeah, well I keep it safe in a thingamabob
Yeah,
under my
yeah.
head when I sleep, and it's like, no, you've never said that.
So yeah, currently the shard ownership goes. Velda's got 1, Shania's got 1, Caragor's got 2.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, well.
Yes.
Above I had 3.
Did for a little while.
For about a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Tricky, yeah, because there's one from Freya / Smashwangle. If you want to trace it back that far.
Yeah.
So you've got the one from Freya, you've got the one that Fulton stole from the Whispering Tyrant, and you've got the 2 from the Mwangi Expanse that were part of the Curse Breaker. Those are the 4 that you have currently.
How many does it take to make a whole mirror?
You don't know because they're just broken, so you don't know what the total is, and you don't even know if you need every single one of them to make the mirror.
Right. Good. Okay, cool, great.
Yes.
Good.
So,
yeah.
How are we all feeling? Feeling sprightly and awake after that? ready to fight some kind of undead monster?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, kind of. Velda's all right. He thinks.
Yeah, I mean, Caragor might lean a little bit more on the... Oh, no, he can't. He's got no fucking arrows. That's the whole point. I haven't had any fucking offensive arrows for about, 10 episodes, and I keep meaning to buy some when we go into a town. Now, for fuck's sake. Never mind.
Well, we are going to a village.
Yeah, but they're not going to sell arrows.
Why not?
Well, the kind of thing you do in towns.
You might have a Fletcher.
Hunters, yeah, they're hunting and stuff like that.
All right, yeah, maybe.
They might be a bit shit. You just make us kids, with twigs, a bit of leaf at the end.
Oh, great.
And a stone. Yeah, mate.
Tesco value, arrows.
It's the skill of the ranger, not the arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Ranger's feeling
Not
pretty strung
true
out
at
right
all.
now. It's the mental drain as well. Physical drain of fighting Fulton, and then the mental drain of having to talk Bubba down from it as well. It's like, fucking hell, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
How much can you ever trust the cozy cabin again? After one day you just wake up in the cozy cabin realm and Bubba's long gone with all the shards, and you're there with Mr. and Mrs. Cozy Cabin.
Oh God, what happened? What would happen if you were still in the cabin when it?
Well, when what?
because it screams and goes collapsing
Oh,
itself,
no, you
doesn't
just-
it?
that's happened
if
before.
If you were in there, like...
No, that doesn't happen.
What a way to do
just,
someone away.
it dispels around you and you fall
Yeah,
onto the
it
floor.
spits you out basically.
Yeah. You're like lying in a bed
Well,
because
I'm gonna have
we did this last time. I think it was Volton.
No, it was Velda.
Volton.
You spat him out onto the streets of
Velda was
Kipway.
so you were laying on a cot and then all of a sudden you just went and fell on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah.
The same thing happened to Philippe as well. Philippe was just covered in sand.
The amount of
Fucking-
spells that seem to have inbuilt safety tools but aren't. All they're designed for is that you can't do sneaky offensive damage through them. Like that's all they're built for. Really,
Yeah.
you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, can I just lure someone into my cozy cabin and then just end the spell to do like 48 worth of force damage? No, it spits them out. And you're like, okay, fine.
It's because they know the way gamers think, and they spend all this time putting in these rules, being like, okay, there's a structure in place that you can't just use like paralyze to just end the fight and kill the boss monster, so everyone else gets a go. Okay, so they've got all that. Oh shit, we'll have to think where you can just kill someone with a house. Cottage spell is the most powerful spell in the game.
I think the last time we really abused a mechanic like that was in a private campaign with the Brimbone the Witch. Sleep and coup de grace.
Sleep and coup de
We
grace,
literally
very powerful.
Oh, yeah, we
slept
did
in coup
that
de grace,
all.
and do you know what? Then they redid the rules, and sleep got nerfed
Yep.
to death because that was such a loophole. Literally, we put to sleep massively powerful creatures by the end, to just be like, and stab, well, it's asleep.
Anyone who's listened to a lot of, if you listen to the Glass Cannon, you know, Hungry Pit. That's another one. Hungry Pit, hugely overpowered. Like as soon as it's these spells. Once you get it, it's like, oh right, okay. Well, there's no reason for me to ever look at any. Like I'd literally just cast this spell every turn. There's no better thing for me to do than this thing in every. You know, I have to actively play badly to not just do this same tactic for every single fight.
Right.
So it's nice to kind of change that stuff up. And I remember
What
like
levels Hungry Pit?
I think that's longer. I bet it's in there somewhere or something. But I remember like back in school playing 2nd edition D&D, and we had to go and find it was an underground dungeon, and I had a spell that like lets you. It's like a druidy kind of thing. You stab a staff into a rock, and it makes a spring of water rise up, and it's so that you can like. And it lasts for weeks or something like that. And it's so that you can like make a well or something like that. And I was like, oh, it's underground. Okay, so I make a spring of water right in the doorway and let it just trickle in and flood the dungeon. And we go away. We come back. We just come back once a week to renew the spell, and we just keep going until the dungeon is flooded and it's over. And the GM quite reasonably was like, I appreciate the creativity. That is right. But that does mean we aren't playing. That does mean we don't play the game anymore. That does mean that the game is you go back to a tavern and that's the end of the game. Yeah. So if we could, if that could not happen, we could. So let's come up with a creative way that doesn't happen.
I think that's the beauty of the game. That's the beauty of it. You come up with something that is simultaneously honouring the player's creativity and use of the spell, whilst also not completely destroying your own campaign, and negotiating a compromise which is both fun, witty, and enjoyable for all. Like because I think about myself immediately in that perspective. I'm like, oh, if I've got this dungeon and they just flood it and they just do this, I'm like, A, how much enjoyment are they going to get out of it? Are my players going to? B, have I written this dungeon? If so, I've got way more attachment to it than if I'm just using a publicized adventure. If it's a publicized adventure, fuck it, flood it. I don't care. It's someone else's writing. Do it. Trash it. But if it's mine, I might be like, oh, hey guys, I mean, there's an NPC that you like in there, and you're going to kill 3 innocent goblin children. Do you know what I mean? I'd be more defensive about it. But if there's a way you can be like, so you semi-flood it, like you get rid of the first 3 rooms of guards, like, that kind of thing. Like that compromise, I think, is where the game gets really interesting.
I do like the sort of more childish, like, well, there's nothing going to be damaged that we're interested in, like gold and gems and swords, so that'd be cool, flood it. It's like scrolls, items of clothing, like magic boots or whatever. Like, no, screw that. I'm 12.
Flood it.
Flood it.
It comes up a lot. Sorry, Karen.
No, go on. You go first.
It comes up. The other thing it comes up on is like the negotiation over engaging in quests, which is the thing that Drum refuses to engage in quests a lot of the time. Like someone's like, "Can you help me? We need you to come through here." Be like, "Absolutely not. I leave." And it's like, I mean, that's okay. That's the thing to do to survive, but also That's now the end of the adventure. That's congratulations, you had a normal day.
It's like it's a trope because that you
don't want to die because you don't want to because you fear danger. I think you fear danger. That's how that happens.
There's no yes and though, is it?
No.
If you say no to something, then it immediately stops the impro, doesn't it?
But it's also especially prevalent, I think, with people like Drum when you've got the main quest in your head.
Yes.
And then someone
Right.
turns up with a side quest that might devolve into something super important down the line. But unless that is overtly clear, and things can't be overtly clear to the players all the time, sometimes you've got to be a bit mysterious. Like, unless that is overtly clear, you might have a rational reaction to that. In terms of clearing dungeons, I remember a campaign I was running, and players of mine had like scampered up the outside of the dungeon like it was in a mountain.
Okay.
And they were like, they eschewed the normal entrance and instead scampered up the mountain because they were like, these people live in here, they've got to have a kitchen and therefore a chimney. And I was like, that is solid thinking. Fair enough. These bandits who do live in this mountain, they do have a chimney somewhere. Go and find it. And they did. And they were like, cool, we found their kitchen area. What we would now like to do is drop a bag of flour down there into that small air area, and then just going to cast a cantrip, ignite it, and watch the entire room go up and get destroyed. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what? And then they would talk me through the science of like igniting a massive bag of flour with and I was like, sure, yeah, that is an improvised explosive. Yeah, fuck, okay. So I had to do this whole negotiating thing where I was like, I remember thankfully there was a week in between games, and I had to talk to all my DM friends and be like, guys, what the fuck? And they did talk me through this whole thing. They were like, well, it's a bag of flour. You're also living in a magical fantasy world. It doesn't need to kill everybody. But I mean, they've put a lot of effort into doing this. I'd at least take the first room out if I were you. And then it's probably going to alert the entire rest of the dungeon. I was like, okay, cool. So there's this big negotiation happening. It was my first time coming up against something like that. And I was like, okay. But they were so into it. Like, two of them would come up with the idea, and then two of the other players were like, oh my God, this is going to be the funnest thing ever. And you do. Whenever you think you've got a shortcut or a head start on the game or a campaign, if you can do something cleverly, like, I think that should be honored in a certain way. Like, there's ways of doing it when you control the entire universe, you know.
It's a beautiful thing, and some beautiful negotiation last week, resulting in everyone still being alive but being hurt. So what's the plan, Danger Club? You are very badly injured. It is the morning. Do you want to rest up for a bit before you carry on to your appointment with death?
Well, we can still go to the.
You can still make the
Go and
appointment.
speak
We
to
can
the
go and
people.
speak to the villagers and see if there's any healers or anything.
We just don't know that. Monster isn't going to turn up
They
now.
don't come out in day, do they? In the morning, they'll come out at night.
It's all right as well, because if the monster does appear as soon as we get there, I can fly.
As can I. So,
There we go. Problem solved. Onwards.
All right, so we go to the village, underslept. We ask around, and then we sleep out the village.
No,
Yeah.
we're not underslept. We are just battered because
That's
we
what I
literally
meant. That's
got
what
up.
I meant.
Sorry. Yeah.
So we sleep after we've done some basic asking of questions.
Yes.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, fine. That's probably going to be,
That's what we'll do.
Possibly as well. If it is following the usual tropes of undead, it will probably attack at night. So we might, as long as we get there in decent time. It's only 5 miles away.
They'll probably attack us in our beds.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No.
Well, we'll
But
set a watch.
it's okay because I can fly. Actually, no, I've got a real phobia of getting attacked in the bed since that bloody wraith of the mountain.
yeah,
whatever it was.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, just woke up in bed, just sucking my soul out.
Oh, we liked him. All right, so you...
If it makes you feel any better, Wraiths can fly too.
Yeah.
That's what you could have done.
So you
a
make
cave.
your way through the fields. I guess not quite as chatty as you were before. So you make your way, kind of keeping an eye on each other.
Caragor tries to lighten the mood after a few minutes of silence by going, oh, when I was a ship and I went in the air, I was really scared. A bow went up and the mask went up and oh, my bunny boy blow.
Boo! Boo! You hear from the back.
Soon may I murder a wizard and the rest of the club. Not really.
Already it begins.
It's only because he booed me. No, we'll take our leave and go. It's nice. Come on, get involved. Cheery song.
If Caragor turned around and you trapped on the shards under your eye patch, you'd be like, come on, everybody.
Just constantly seeing it.
This is great.
With shard.
So you
right.
you carry on your trek. Kind of you did some rudimentary bandaging, to just bandage up your obvious wounds until you make your way to. Unless you want to do let's not do any healing. Let's get into it. You make your way to You make your way to the village, and sure enough, you find a small village kind of hidden amongst some woods. By following the directions, you find a small road that leads you from where the farmers' fields are down to a village. You can see about a dozen or so small houses. They seem mostly small holdings. A lot of them have got kind of little gardens outside, and you can see a few people out and about. You see more people out. You see people in the fields as you're kind of approaching the village. So if you want to stop and talk to anyone in the fields before you get to the village proper, they're the first people you meet. Otherwise, you can head straight into the village itself.
Hello.
Get straight into.
Which of those was it? Is that in the fields or in the village, Velda?
On the outskirts.
On the outskirts.
Yeah, it's just becoming the village. And anyone who's looking a little bit likely, like not just some sort of somebody who's just stacking mud.
A little bit.
I don't want a conversation about monarchy. I just want to, just like someone.
The mud stacker turns around and goes, "Me, sir."
Yeah. No.
Oh, very well. A farmer.
King. I will rule you all. You may use my undead puppets.
A farmer who is working in the field, who is tilling, just kind of puts his tool down and looks over. He's dressed in just peasant garb.
Yes.
Goes, my lord.
Ooh.
Fuck's sake, not again.
Gosh, haven't heard that. Haven't in a while. Anyway,
You know who the last person to call you my lord was? I think that was Six.
Six.
Was it? Oh no, it was some guy. It's the same voice as Six, but yeah.
Oh yeah. You threw me off there. Oh yes. Now we're looking for the lumber mill. Possible. Yes, and also has the village got a healer and a Fletcher?
A healer and a Fletcher. There is a Fletcher, sir.
Oh, good.
There is a Fletcher in town.
What's his name? Or their name, I should say.
Their name. His name is Dexter.
Oh. Was he press ganged into that job? You're too young, Scott.
Dexter Fletcher?
Yeah, oh good, you do know the gag. Do you remember press gang?
No, I just hoped by saying the two words that you guys laughed at together that would be enough of a thing to convince you that I'd seen the thing.
You will remember Dexter Fletcher from Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Oh, right.
He's done a few things with Guy Ritchie, but yeah, he came to fame in Press Gang about a bunch of teenagers who come up with their own newspaper, and only the really old amongst us will remember that. So yeah.
Hey Scott, guess what? I didn't know what press gang was either. I just laughed so James would think I was cool.
Yeah, he knows. Actually, I also had Julia Sawala. That was the first thing that made her name.
Oh
yeah.
See, it's that easy.
Yeah. I didn't have to provide deception there. I just believed it. Go Fletcher, but no healer.
No healer. We just do our best. If someone gets sick, we there's I believe there's a wise woman in one of the villages nearby who sometimes comes by.
Oh.
We take them to there, or we try and take them down into West Crown.
Oh yes, fair enough. Right, we'll point the way to the Fletcher, my good man, and the lumber mill.
The Fletcher is in the main village. That's just up beyond those trees up there where you can see the smoke rising. The lumber mill, that's further up the river. That's another few hours track up the river from here.
Why do we want the lumber?
You've got a very aristocratic voice there. So.
Yes, I went to a private school. I was on a threshing scholarship.
Ah, fair enough.
Oh, splendid.
Please, sir.
Unfortunately, I studied liberal arts, and therefore I've ended up back in the fields.
Please take this. He hands him 10 gold pieces.
Oh my god, he's back, everybody! The real Fulton.
How have you got so much gold?
I don't know, because we split it, didn't we?
We did get loads, yeah.
We did.
The mud.
No, I just mean compared to I've only got a little bit more than you have. You just give it to everyone.
The mud stacker is like, oh, could I have some of that? The thresher goes,
No, it is mine. I am your king now.
Carol, do you want to go to the Fletcher?
Yeah, great.
Let's go see Dexter Fletcher.
Great. Is the widow in the lumber mill?
What? Yes.
Ah, right, great.
I think it was the lumber mill.
she works in the lumber. Yeah, she runs the
lumber.
lumber mill. Yeah,
Great. All right, we'll go stop by the Fletcher, and then we'll head on out to the lumber mill where we'll ask questions and promptly fall asleep. Dead easy.
If I do medicine, what can that help? Is that hit points or is that stabilization?
It can help hit points. Do you have a healer's kit? Do you pick one up?
No, but I probably should get one because actually I just checked my medicine skill and it's quite high.
Yeah, it would be a decent thing. Without a healer's kit, you can't use it to treat wounds.
All right, I will get one of those. Actually, I didn't say, but I actually bought one just. It was at one point.
As they're walking off, from these people, Bubba's kind of dawdling behind a little bit.
Okay.
And he sort of just jumps back to those people they were talking to, and just says, "Excuse me.
Hello there, sir.
What would you do if your friend stole everything from you?"
I would ask him to please not do that, sir.
You just ask him to say please, would you?
Sir, I don't want any trouble.
Stole everything from you. If they stole everything you own,
I really must be getting back to my work, sir.
yeah, you get back to your work. He stares at him as he walks and runs back up to the club.
The Mudstacker's like, I'd cook him in the nuts.
Do I hear that?
Yeah, it just calls up. And he gives you a muddy thumbs up.
Yeah, he gives him a little nod, a little nod towards him.
The Mudstacker nods, like, yeah, kindred spirit. Goes back to stacking his mud. So you head into the village, and like I say, it's about a dozen or so small buildings.
What's the name of the village?
You didn't ask him.
I didn't ask.
No, you forgot.
You there, child?
Oh, there, sir.
What's the name of the village?
This village, sir. Well, this village don't have no name.
Oh, it's a bit shit.
Well, folk round here really travel beyond the village. We've never had need for a name.
Oh, I see. I name your village Shitty No Name.
Shitty no.
Yes.
Oh, there's been so long since we had a mighty lord so powerful as you in here.
I know.
Do you own this?
Own what?
This land?
Yeah, why not?
I was always told a mighty lord owned this land.
It's the shard.
Velda, could you give me the shard, please? No. I think it's time.
No, I don't own this land, lad. Thank you for your useless information, but here's something for you. And Velda just motions for Fulton to sort of off.
Fulton gives him 20 gold pieces.
Oh my god! Salt around.
Oh, they're so shiny. And I'm too young to really know what these are.
20 gold pieces.
Oh my god.
Hey everyone, look what I've got. I'm going to be the most popular person in all of Shitty No Name.
And the boy runs off, followed by the jealous-looking eyes of several people.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's going to get robbed.
He's going to find the end of a pitchfork, and that's what that boy's going to find. An early grave.
So you ask around, and sure enough, you find that there is a Fletcher in town. It's actually a blacksmith. He seems to make arrows, and he seems to be doing. There's no sort of weapons there. He's not making swords or things, but he is making like plowshares and repairing bits of farming equipment. And there is a big gruff man with white hair and a aged, sun-baked face who is working away at the anvil when you arrive.
I'm just trying to put back my character sheet to see how much fucking gold I've got. Jesus. Yeah, okay, hang on. Sorry, just get my purse around here.
It's in literal tatters.
I am still
That's right. Let me just finish reforging this character sheet.
Yeah, if you could actually, that'd be great. How goes it? My name's Caragor One Fang.
Dexter the Fletcher.
I
wasn't press ganged into this, in case you
didn't
were
ask.
wondering.
Didn't ask. No. Did you say that because we own a ship?
You own a ship?
Yes, we own a boat in the harbour.
Oh,
good.
Yes,
that's all right. It's fine.
Yes, that's right. Ship.
Good. How much for? I need some arrows to fit. I get out of the composite longbow. You got anything for this?
He whistles as he takes the longbow and looks at it and goes, fine craftsmanship.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. Just don't ask.
He tried to shoot me with some, but he missed.
Yeah, just don't ask it to fire any tangle arrows at your mates because it's useless for that.
What's a tangle arrow, sir?
Tangled foot arrow and a grappling arrow. You haven't got any of them, have you?
They used to be good, but they're not anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
I mean, I have arrows and... Well, I have arrows, sir.
Arrows is good. Give me how much for 100?
100? Well,
yeah.
That would be. I normally sell them for. I normally sell them for a silver piece for 10.
Silver piece for 10. So a gold piece for 100.
Sir, if you can spare that kind of money.
Yeah, take 2. Thanks, mate.
Carragher,
What?
I've got this.
No.
It's okay, I'll
You don't
do
need
it.
to make reparations just because you
feel
stole the
bad.
shard. I know, but it's fine. You don't need to pay for this, okay?
No, it's okay.
You've given plenty of money to
my
destabilise the economy.
money.
No. Fulton, put them 2 gold pieces back. I've got plenty, okay? It is 2 from mine. Thank you, Fulton. It's a nice gesture. But I'd rather you put that effort into not stealing shards from us and your mates anymore. Right.
Okay.
NPCs aren't like a collective people. You don't get to make reparations to all by just giving some money to a peasant. You make it up for what you did to Fulton Bottle.
That's what Fulton thinks.
It's such a wonderfully middle class attitude. It's like, I'll give away enough money until I don't feel guilty anymore. Doesn't matter to who. They might not even really need it, but just there we go, and the guilt is
church
gone.
literally built an economic system from doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
Oh, yeah.
historically, that's in fact, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
He
indulgences.
goes, boy, help me get the more arrows from the shed. The boy goes, fuck off, I'm rich now.
Is it his son? Has this family just done incredibly well out of this going in?
Unfortunately, that's what happens when money gets involved.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Hiya, Bubba. Didn't know you should come in.
Oh yeah, I'm in. I'm in deep, mate.
Dexter the Fletcher comes back with just a couple of big bags of arrows, and just puts them down and just and takes several bushels out and hands them over to you, gives you your 100.
Cracking, cheers. And what's the game like around here?
Deer mostly, although you don't see too many of them. I've gone really posh. Sorry, I went to private school, you know, luxury scholarship.
This village.
You're the only family that can afford it, apparently.
It's just in a really good catchment area.
There you go. As soon as you get a gold piece, do you know what I mean?
Does anyone actually belong in this village? I mean, it's holiday homes and wealthy.
We're all on gap years.
Yeah, gap year.
Deer mostly, sir. They don't see too many of them around here these days, though. It's mostly rabbits.
They've been disturbed by anything gratuitous hiding in the bushes.
It is. We've heard tale of. We've been told that there's a creature about. My boy saw it last night. It's a figure in the woods. Horrific visage. That's right. I learned big words.
You did.
Oh, you've been talking to the farmhand down the way, haven't you? Yeah. He's got
we all
got a scholarship, you know.
We all clubbed together and sent him to the academy.
Oh, yes.
Comes back with a fucking music technology degree.
Have you
when was the last time?
Have you ever?
What time did your boy see the monster?
Boy, what time did you fuck off? I remember it were late. It were well after dark. I sent him out to grab some more firewood from the shed, and he said he saw something moving in the forest on the edge of town.
Could you describe the monster, boy?
Why should I describe anything to you? I'm rich. I'll buy you. Here, dwarf. I will give you a gold piece to slap this man.
No.
I'll take a gold piece to slap him if you want.
Sure, I'm up for anything for a slapping.
He hands you a gold piece.
I slap the child round the head. Now, do respect your elders. You're nonsensical.
Wow.
He drops his 20 gold pieces. Immediately, loads of other villagers run over and just start grabbing them.
Oh,
No.
Ugh, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Have you?
Yeah.
No, not you. The other.
Actually, no, I did want to speak to you anyway.
Has Dexter?
Aye.
Have you ever killed your ex-girlfriend's father?
Okay, so a child, could you describe this monster for me? Don't worry about him. He's had a long day. Could you describe this monster for me, and I'll give you a gold piece.
At the time it takes Dexter to just process what he's been asked for, it's like,
It was terrifying. I saw it last night. It was tall. It was like a man, but its face were all stretched over its bones and twisted into this horrible snarl. And it was just muttering things. And its eyes, my lord, deep sunk into its head, black as death, with smoke pouring from it. Little wisps of noxious fumes went off into the air and must have poisoned the birds.
Oh, you're so descriptive for a little boy.
I know, it very is.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing an English degree.
You're doing English degree over my dead body, lads.
Right, here's a gold piece. Thank you for your information. That's very good.
I'm back in the game.
And it was muttering things.
Yeah.
It was capable of language.
It seemed to be, but it wasn't talking to anyone like it was just talking to itself. I didn't dare get close enough to hear what it could be saying.
That's interesting. This might be more complicated than just attacking a
Does it-
undead thing. It might be some kind of revenant.
Does it come out like specifically if you have like, I don't know, a villager lying on the floor naked and strung up? Does it come out like that?
Has anyone tried to feed it?
To go back to your previous question, no, I've never killed the father of I've never killed anyone.
I have.
And strung up like what, sir?
Well, just as a meat snack.
A meat snack?
For the monster. How does the monster
meat
come
snack.
out?
No, we don't want the monster to come out.
No, we do, because we're going to destroy it for you.
Yes, I guess my colleague is saying if you could bait it with anything. Does it appear to go for any food sources within the village?
Deer, apparently.
The only person who's seen it in the village was my boy, and he ran back inside. Thank the gods it didn't. Think Erastil, it didn't try and come in through any of the doors.
But do you reckon them deer, they've all been eaten by the creature? Is that what we were thinking?
I don't know, sir.
When did the deer start going missing?
They've been on the decline for many years.
That could just be
maybe
lack of a
not
natural
then.
food source.
Yeah.
I tell you what. One final question. Whereabouts? Lad. Where exactly did you see the village?
Yeah. What's in it for me?
Huh?
What's in it for me?
Caragor clenches a fist.
Oh,
No. I will give you a copper piece.
A copper piece?
Yes, a copper piece for
Oh,
free.
don't
That's
get
for
out of
knowledge.
bed.
You are out of bed. You're out of bed now, my lad.
And looks nervously and remembers how it went for him before.
Oh, well, I wish I could say no to you, but I remember back when I were a rich man. I remember my fall from grace. Our pride led me to lose nearly everything.
What, 2 minutes ago?
Yeah, exactly. It's dreadful. Sorry, what was your question?
I will give you, because I can't read it on my character sheet anymore, I'll just give you the rest of the copper pieces that I have.
Oh, great.
Which is definitely more than one and somewhere less than 100.
That's reasonable.
Yep, fair enough. Good. I can just tear that bit off my page.
Ideal.
There you go. Okay, but only after you tell me whereabouts you see it.
He points to the woods. He takes you around to the side of the Fletcher and points into the woods.
Brilliant.
It's kind of the Fletcher is right on the edge of the village, and it's quite dense trees from there. And he just kind of points off through the woods, which are already starting to look dark, even though it's still the afternoon. But just the shadows of the trees make it very dark under there. And he points into it. And goes,
There.
Okay.
Past them trees.
All right, then I guess we go chat to Widow, and then if nothing turns up from that, we either sleep or we go straight into the woods.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But if we go down to the woods today,
We'll be sure of a big surprise.
aye.
Probably won't be a surprise because we'll know what's in
Well,
there.
yeah.
Is that all
That's
you
it.
want to say?
Yeah.
Great.
Just doing a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. It's good, mate.
Trying to-
Feeling all right, champ? How you
Well,
doing,
not
Tiger?
really.
Nice to see you
How's it
look more
going?
chipper. You know?
Well, the giving away money helps.
Good.
So middle class. Right, so
Charitable donation.
off we go.
To the Widow. Cheers, thanks. What's your name, lad? Dexter, what's your son's name?
my son was named after. I didn't name him. You see, he was named.
I wasn't even there.
He was named by my ex-wife. My ex-wife, Ravushka and Nikolai. His name is Kurtrude. Thank you, Ravushka and Nikolai.
Gertrude Fletcher.
Kurtrude Fletcher. Guy Kurtrude
Fletcherson?
Fletcher. Kurtrude Fletcherson. That's his name.
It's starting to-
Very nice.
The richest boy in town.
Starting to explain some things now about why he is the way he is. Cracking, great, cheers. Don't go into the woods. Don't go too far from the village.
Oh, Gertrude and I, with the money we've made today, we're off to West Crown. We're going to take holiday.
Great, lovely.
Have a
Enjoy
nice time.
He's already
See you later.
got the wagon out and is packing some things into it. Well, if you're going out there, then good luck. I wouldn't want to tangle with whatever it is that's out there. I'd have left it for the Hell Knights myself, but.
Yeah.
They're all defeated.
Well, they're all otherwise occupied.
yeah.
I mean, unless we, by knowing that, we get them to start a revolution.
What are the Hell Knights like?
Even without a perception check, you catch that he pauses and he's definitely trying to get a measure of you. He says, "Hi, they uphold the law, and that's important, sir."
We are independent contractors, and when one of the Hell Knights asked us to come and investigate this, we told him that he wasn't welcome to come with us because we wanted honest opinions from people that we weren't going to pass on. If that changes your mind about anything you're going to say.
My honest opinion, sir, is that the Hell Knights keep the peace, and Erastil's blessings to them for doing it.
But it wouldn't be Erastil's blessings they'd be having, would it?
That's not my business to get involved with, sir.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
We're law-abiding folk here.
Good. All right. Well, we'll see that Laura Bardon folk get protected. Let's go off to see Widow.
Oh, thank you, sirs.
Enjoy your holiday.
Oh, we will.
Oh, we're going to go to Fantasy Disneyland.
The Fletcher packs up, locks up the smithy, puts the boy jumps on the back of the wagon along with their things, and he wheels the wagon off out of town.
Wow, I hope no one needs horseshoes in the next 2 weeks.
Or arrows.
If they need arrows, I'll just give them. I feel
You got quite a few there, haven't you?
got 100 arrows,
yeah,
mate.
there's a lot of arrows.
I might see if we can visit a temple and get them blessed.
Have you got like a thing to carry those in?
Yeah, I've bundled them into different stacks of 10 all around my person. Yeah. Yeah, what?
I'm just saying.
Are you worried about my load that I am carrying? Are you thinking that, maybe you could get rid of a shard or two's worth of weight?
Why did you say that?
Why did you say that in
Where are
my
we
head?
going next?
Going to Widow.
Sorry, is this where I can get horseshoes?
Is the widow over there?
No, they're closed. Sorry.
Oh, bloody!
What's your name?
Doing another one in the same episode. My name's Grandy Perspot.
Well, fuck off, Grandy. There's no horseshoes, all right? I'm having a bad day. Now go away.
You are, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
It's all right. I don't have a horse. He walks off.
Let's go to Widow.
You go to you follow the river north out of town and follow up into the hills. You can see there seems to be. You get a feeling of why they need the lumber mill needs to be sort of a bit further up where the river flows a little bit faster, so it'll work for the water wheel. And you make your way up there. It takes you another couple of hours of walking, and then you see a lumber mill. So it is by now is now getting on for late afternoon. The sun is lower in the sky. It's still daytime, but it's lower in the sky. Long shadows stretched out. And you see, you're in a slightly more hilly area. It's still very heavily wooded. Still a lot of trees around here. Haven't cut all of them down. It's not like not like a game where just everything around the lumber mill has been felled and then there's a line. Like a game, or like the slow destruction of our own planet. There is, but you see the. Okay, let's do a game. That's more cheerful. You see the lumber mill itself. It's an old, rundown looking. It's a big mill. You can see the mill itself with the water wheel churning very slowly. You can see that there's a load of tools and things scattered around it. There's a house connected to the mill itself, and then there is a big sort of storage warehouse behind it. There is no sign of anyone working there.
Bubba knocks on the door of the house.
You knock on the door of the house. There is no answer.
Is the door unlocked?
You give it a try. The door is not only unlocked, but when you turn it, you realise it was locked, but the lock is broken.
Can't fucking have a sleep now, can we?
No. The things killed the widow.
Maybe. Well, let's not jump to conclusions, but
Wrong house! Run away, sleep.
all right, get your weapons out. You never know. Could be
I
something
can't.
in there.
I can't kill it.
I can. Right, look,
What,
just
the undead thing?
I can't.
Why?
I just can't do it anymore.
Yes, you can.
He puts his axe on his back. No. It's not for me to end another person's life.
Fulton, this thing's
This is
already
a
It's
monster,
dead.
dead.
man.
It doesn't have a life.
Maybe then, I don't know. I'll decide when we
So
get
come on,
closer
come
to
on.
the thing.
don't you want to
feels-
put your thumbs in
Come on,
those
big fella.
eyes? That, you know,
I'll get my
spreading
club out and I'll do
he's
some
got-
non-lethal
Just
damage.
doing
got
Marnie
no-
Shania's bit from about 8 episodes ago.
No, but I'm going to stick to this.
No, but listen,
We
Fulton,
stuck to
Fulton,
it.
have you not heard? He's got green, glowing, smoking
Yeah,
eyes.
yeah, that.
Imagine poking those out with your thumbs. It'd be so much fun.
Respect my decision.
No, it's a stupid decision.
I'll respect it, Fulton. Listen, if it's dead, if it's a person, we don't kill it, all right? But if it's an horrible bleeding monster that's already died once, we might dissect it a little
Right,
bit.
I'm going to inspire
Fine.
courage now before we walk in.
You start singing a song.
Inside this house could be anything, could be a dead woman. I want the shards back.
You're all inspired by this.
Wow.
I want the shards back.
Caragor
so
narrows his good
bad.
eye. Knocks an arrow to the bow.
He doesn't realise when he's singing that he's actually giving away like real information. All right, and then I sort of push open the door.
Singing a sad song, you push the door open and let some light into the room. It's a hallway. It looks quiet. Sounds quiet.
Do you know what? When this was described to us by Man in Sky, it sounded like it was describing a dungeon, I'm not going to lie.
It's true. I wonder how many stairs this place has got and rooms.
There, as you look around, you can see. Give me a perception check. If you want to have a look around.
Terrible.
Amazing.
That'll do it. Caragor's definitely got it.
33.
There are muddy footprints on the ground. Initially, looking like something as, and true enough, you look down at your own boots and you realise that they're fairly muddy. So it looks like something came in from outside, and you reckon not that long ago.
I just point down at them and I go,
Recent.
I thought it was mud.
Where they going? Upstairs?
You can't. They go off into the. They go off into the house, and you can see there is a. There's like a sitting room. They peter out quite quickly once they're inside, and the mud is knocked off. They kind of disappear, but you know that something came in this door relatively recently.
Where do we go?
Room by room.
Okay. Who first?
You.
Fine. I open the first door that is nearest.
So looking around, you can see that there is a. The ways out of here, there is a door that seems to lead to a kitchen. There is a flight of stairs going up. There is a door further on the other side of the living room that seems to go towards the lumber mill itself. Those are your kind of options out of the living room.
and there's nothing overtly in here.
There's no creatures in here. No, it's set like it looks inhabited. This house. It looks like a there is a, I don't want to say sofa, but there's like chairs and there's chairs, tables,
Cuddly bench.
Yeah, cuddly bench,
benches
tables,
everywhere.
chairs. There's vending machine. There's no vending machine. There is a fire. There is a fireplace. There are a couple of axes hanging above the fireplace.
Dwarven dishwasher as well.
Dwarven tissue.
Yeah, there's a night hole, a day hole.
Do we think the thing came in here, or do we think someone else came in here?
It's hard to tell.
We don't know, do we?
You don't know.
I guess I'm asking the group. Should we just fucking shout and say, hello, is anyone here? Like,
Yeah.
should we just do that?
Might be our only option. To be honest. I mean,
Because we could go room to room, but I'm a bit worried that someone might have just left their door open and then we've broken in with our weapons drawn.
with
The
the
lock
boots.
was
Yeah, that was
broken.
broken. Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, fine. We keep going this way. We don't shout. We go room to room. But over Fulton's shoulder, I've got my bow and arrow drawn.
Okay.
We open every door like that.
Cool.
So first the kitchen, I think.
Okay, you head to the kitchen first. You kick the door open,
Just
bow
gently-
over the shoulder,
gently
looking
open
in.
it. Gently open it.
Gently open it.
You've changed, man.
It is a relatively well stocked kitchen, as you would expect for somebody living outside of town. There's some hanging salted meats hanging from a rail, and there is you can see that there is a cutting board on the kitchen table, or on the worktop, and there is a loaf of bread that has been cut in half. There is no bread knife.
How'd they cut that bread with an axe?
Maybe they have scissors for hands.
Scott's face then. You should have seen
Let
it
me
danger.
respond.
Should have finished him off with the axe.
Cool, we just continue. We're going upstairs.
Upstairs, I guess.
Upstairs it is.
Should we go stealthily?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Give me some stealth checks.
Uh-oh.
Too bad, actually.
Oh. 29 for Velda.
29 for Velda.
That's pretty good.
Go on then.
Dirty 30.
A dirty 30.
Sickening 20.
Sickening 20.
33.
Oh, hello.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You all...
In it.
Did you take a malice because of the heavy armor?
Yeah.
And with that factored in, you still got 33.
I don't know. It just says
I
0 on it.
believe you have armor mastery by now, which
Oh, yeah.
takes away the penalty for wearing armor because you are a fighter. So you are so used to moving in plate armor.
Fair enough.
You can keep it. Fulton very much plays against his stats in terms of how proficient he is at something.
Yeah.
You know, he's actually really good
What's your stealth bonus?
Plus 13.
Fuck me.
because his dex bonus is pretty good, isn't it? 'Cause
Right.
So you creep up the stairs very quietly up onto the landing, and you see up on this level there is a single door that goes into that seems to go into a bedroom. Well, you assume a bedroom. It's upstairs. The door is closed. You push the door open, bow over the shoulder, and you look around. There is a large bed. There is a cupboard on the side, and there is you're looking around the room. There is hanging up, you reckon, from a quick glance, clothes for one person. Even though it's a double bed, you reckon maybe one person lives here. But the thing that really draws your attention is that there is blood splattered on the mattress of the bed. And it looks like some of the ornaments and things have been knocked off the shelves. There has been a scuffle. There has been a scuffle might be a big way of putting it. There's been a struggle in this room.
Open the closet.
Go on. Oh no, you're not tall enough to. I'll open the closet. You look for the bread knife.
All right.
Give me a perception check, Fulton.
I'll just do it on here. 24.
24. Looking around, you find the bread knife lying on the floor. Its blade is broken.
Caragor nods and opens the closet.
You open the closet. Slumped among the clothes in the closet, you can see a human woman who's just hunched over in the closet.
Dead.
She doesn't react to you.
Hello, excuse me.
The woman just the woman shudders for a moment.
Can Caragor takes a step back, just with a hand on one of his hammers, and goes, "Hello, are you well? Do you need some kind of medical assistance?"
Betrayed. Rebel. Traitor.
And lifts her head up and looks, and you can see the woman's flesh is just drawn taut around her face. Her eyes are sunk deep into her head like black pits. Wisps of purple smoke just start wisping out from the eye sockets as she puts a hand on the side of the cupboard, and as she does, you see the wood splinter from her strength. As she puts a hand on, looks up, and you goes, "Traitor!" And that is where we leave it for tonight.
Fulton, get the axe out.
Hello. Welcome to the end of the show. Do you listen? Do you not? Who knows? But welcome. This show was made possible by our patrons, especially our Dangerling of the Week, Libby Abner. Oh, thank you, Libby, so much. We are ever so grateful. If you would like to get your name on the end of the show, then why don't you head on down to our Patreon and you could become Dangerling of the Week. Go on, I'll wait. Woo-hoo.